What's good? What's good, man? Let's get into it. Let's talk about some college football, baby. College football playoffs is next week. You guys are getting this on a Wednesday. Let's go. Let's talk about the fact that Jim Harbaugh is going to lose to Nick Saban's Alabama. Now, before anybody, I know I'm going to get a lot of Michigan fans in my comment section and with their panties in a bunch. Oh, you're a hater. Oh, you're an Alabama fan. I am not an Alabama fan. I'm an Oklahoma Sooners fan. And I'm a Florida State fan. Okay. And I want to talk about the fact why does anybody believe in Jim Harbaugh? Jim Harbaugh. Same guy who choked in the NFL, same guy who chokes in college football, the same guy who around this time lost to TCU. They lost to TCU. Go look up my video on me taking a massive dump all over Jim Harbaugh for losing to TCU last year. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Let's talk about the fact that it took this guy, 3 to 5 years to beat Ohio State, and he barely beat him this year? Let's talk about the fact that this guy gets suspended for scandals. And let's talk about the fact that every year we have to hear about this bum always talking about coming to the NFL. Jim, guess what? You're either coming to the NFL or not. Stop with the distraction. Stop with all the BS. Please. You're either all in on Michigan or you're not. It's that simple. Why does anybody believe in Jim Harbaugh? Let's not talk about the fact that anytime when he was with the 49ers, he choked. He choked to my Giants in 2011. He choked to the Ravens. He choked to Seattle on multiple occasions. And let's talk about the fact with Michigan, he choked. I remember one year he choked to Notre Dame opening day. He choked to Ohio State until recent memory. And he choked this guy choked against TCU last year. You lost to a Big 12 team who didn't even win the championship. Kansas State won the championship last year. They beat TCU. And you believe in Jim Harbaugh, people? Listen, he is great at recruiting. He's great at building a team for a championship. He's just not the coach to do it. John Harbaugh can coach a team. His brother can coach a team to a championship. You want to know the crazy thing? I think John Harbaugh can coach a Super Bowl or coach a team to the national championship if he has the team, but he can't build a team like Jim. And I think Jim is great at building teams to win championships. The problem is he can lead them to the championship, but he's going to lose because he's an idiot. He's a clown. He's beyond horrible. Your quarterback is J.J. McCarthy, who even Jim Harbaugh, even your offensive coordinator didn't even trust him to throw a pass in the second half of one of your games without Jim there. And let's just talk about, Nick Saban. I want to leave Alabama out of this because this video is about them. Listen, it's Nick Saban in Alabama. Anytime you think they're out of it, they're always in it. I actually give them credit for not giving up. After losing to Texas and being ranked like 15th to 17th, around there, and coming back and winning the playoffs and beating Georgia, I'm honestly shocked they beat Georgia. I'm really shocked by that. Shout out to Nick Saban, man. He did his thing. He didn't give up. And that quarterback they have, Monroe, I think his name is, black guy with dreads. You know who I'm talking about. They're going to beat Michigan. They're going to beat Michigan. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Who believes in Michigan? Come on, bro. And then these guys versed like a few years ago, and we saw how that worked. Nick Saban's going to outcoach Jim Harbaugh like he always does, because anytime Jim Harbaugh versus a good coach, he loses. There's a reason why does anybody notice something when Urban Meyer, say what you want about Urban Meyer in the NFL, in the NCAA, in college football, Urban Meyer's great. Go look at Florida, go look at Ohio State, go look at Grambling State, and another college that he had success with. When Urban Meyer retired, when he left the NCAA, when he left Ohio State, isn't it funny how Jim Harbaugh started winning? So when you had another great college coach going up against Jim Harbaugh, he always lost to Ohio State. As soon as Urban Meyer leaves and goes to the NFL, well, I think he announced and then he goes to the NFL, Jim Harbaugh starts winning. Jim Harbaugh I don't even know what to compare him to. He's just Jim Harbaugh. That's all he is. And for Michigan fans to honestly think this bum is going to do anything, it's like, no. Jim, you had one job last year, and I'm still not going to let this go. You had one job last year, and that was to beat that disgusting TCU team. And yes, I'm an Oklahoma fan. I hate TCU. But to beat TCU and you couldn't do it. You lost to a team that plays no defense. The Big 12 is not known for their defense. Because we're going to be talking about on Friday, I'm going to be talking about another Big 12 championship, Big 12 team, a.k.a. Texas, who has no defense whatsoever. But Jim Harbaugh lost to TCU. He lost to TCU. You guys believe this guy's going to do anything against Nick Saban's defense? Say what you want about Nick Saban, whether you like him, love him, hate him, if you're a Crimson Tide fans or whatever, you got to respect the guy. I know he has had a few down years here and there, but at the end of the day, maybe he just needs to find some better recruits. I think maybe, he had to get his people in play. Now he's going to come back and whoop all over Jim Harbaugh like he did a few years ago. Ain't nothing different here. There's nothing different here. Score prediction, I'll say Alabama 45, Michigan 31, somewhere around there. Michigan's still a good team, but once again, it's all this defense, and no offense. You're not going to do that to Alabama. Alabama plays tough competition. And Michigan, all they're known, all these Big 10, 12 teams, not Big 10, all these Big 10 teams are known for is just running the ball and playing great defense. That's good in the Big 10. Fine, cool, but when you got to go to the ACC and verse teams who can actually score, when you have to go to the SEC, you have to verse teams that can actually score, or even last year when Jim Harbaugh once again lost to TCU, a team that can score, they lose. And when it comes to Nick Saban, it seems like he got this offense all gelling together. He found a quarterback that he can work with, and he's gonna destroy Michigan. Come back to this video, people. Come back to this video. And for all the Michigan fans, the Wolverine fans, the Jim Harbaugh fanboys, just accept the fact your boo thing ain't going to win. He not going to win. He ain't winning the NFL. He's not going to win in college. It's that simple. It is that simple. And don't be shocked if they lose in the first round again. Don't be shocked if all these rumors of him going to the NFL become true. Because at the end of the day, what else is he going to do? J.J. McCarthy, this is his last year playing for Michigan. Was he going to recruit another quarterback that he can run the ball with? Because J.J. McCarthy ain't doing nothing against his Alabama defense. I can tell you that. Like, honestly, does anybody really think Michigan's going to beat Alabama? The same team that beat Georgia, who was number one throughout this whole year, basically, they beat them. And what do you think he's going to do to Jim Harbaugh and his clown team? Jim Harbaugh, I will never trust Jim Harbaugh in win now mode. I'll never trust Jim Harbaugh. Okay, Jim Harbaugh, we gave you, 6-7 years. This dude's been coaching Michigan since I was in high school. And he still hasn't done anything. And the 1 year he made the playoffs, he loses to TCU. And can you imagine what Alabama's going to do to him in the playoffs? Can you imagine what he's going to do? Because basically this is the same Michigan team as last year. The only difference is they're going to verse actual real competition in Alabama. That's the only difference. And Jim, once again, I'm still never going to forgive you for losing to TCU. I'm still never going to forgive you for that. For anybody who doesn't like Michigan, who's, an Alabama fan, go look up on my channel a year ago when I took a massive dumble over Jim Harbaugh for losing to TCU. It's hilarious. It's funny, but at the end of the day, man, when it comes to Alabama, roll Tide, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Nick Saban for not giving up and making the playoffs. I wish my Florida State Seminoles can be in there, but it is what it is. It is what it is, man. And as it goes for Jim Harbaugh, listen, look, bro. Wolverine fans, this might be his last year. Enjoy going to the playoffs and losing. That's really it. It's just enjoy Jim Harbaugh for his last year, because all these rumors that are coming out and him being suspended by the NCAA or the Big 10 or Michigan, whatever the case may be, he's probably going to get sick and tired of all this NIL stuff, the college football, recruiting, this, that, and the third, and want to go to the NFL. Because he's always said he wanted to win a Super Bowl. And just be happy, you got – I don't even know what to be happy about. I don't even know what you guys should be happy about, because you guys didn't do anything in the Big Ten, and every time you went to the playoffs, including this year, you lost. And if somehow, some way you beat Alabama, you're going to lose to Washington anyways. But that's my thoughts, man. What are yours? What's your thoughts? Who do you got winning? Are you guys watching the college football playoffs? Are you excited for the college football playoffs? And are you guys excited for next year when they're going to expand it to the 12 team format? RJL.